Hi, and welcome to Across the Desk with Kit Fairchild. This week's episode, we talk about how to buy a Republican. We're going to talk about where all this came about and why liberal dark money groups should be buying Republicans. All on this week's show, Across the Desk with Kit Fairchild. Well, it seems like everybody's been doing it, from oil companies to pharmaceuticals, and then it seems like other people caught wind of that, like other countries, and they've decided, we can really buy influence with these guys. And why not? When it comes to the conservative Republican mantra, you're talking about the golden rule. And that golden rule is he who has the gold makes the rules. And that's kind of how they live by. And I'm going to talk about exactly how we can go about buying Republicans. So these dark money and liberal organizations and PACs, they need to get wise out there. These are the rules we're playing with. People are buying up GOP members, whether it's industry or other countries, to get their agenda through. And the GOP has taken the money, and they have already said that they are open for business. When you see Mulvaney come out on the pulpit and say, hey, we're doing it. We're peddling influence. Get used to it. It's going to happen. Then hey, those are the rules we're playing with. And I don't know if many of you follow me online, but if you've seen my hashtag, Turnabout is Fair Play, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We need to be playing by the same rules. We need to be buying our own Republicans. And not just any Republican. We want to be buying the right Republicans. And what I mean by that is we stay away from the leadership. We don't buy those guys. For one, those guys have already been bought and sold, and they've already peddled their influence, they've already made their relationships, and they're in way too deep. It would cost way too much money to get those guys on any kind of side other than what they're already on. Now, what you do is you go after the junior senators, you go after the junior and the new freshman representatives that are coming in that haven't been bought yet. You buy those guys off. Because I guarantee you, for every one guy in the leadership, we can buy 5 on the lower rung, and it's like a double whammy. Not only are they cheaper, but then when we get them and we buy them and we get our influence peddled to them, well, we just created a major divide between the leadership and its members. So we've created division, which recreates lack of communication, creates miscommunication, creates disorganization, which leads to inefficiencies all over the place. And with those inefficiencies, we can use that as a stepping stone to other liberal and progressive policies to move forward and advance through a weakened GOP. So you take these lower rung GOP members and you give them money, and then you give them your bulleted points on the issues that you care about, and I guarantee you, if you give them enough money, they will be for it. It depends. Now, we can't be way too far to the left. You've got to be more towards the center or middle, but that's plenty. That's plenty to get the effect that we want. Because I guarantee you, the guys on the top rung that have been bought and sold, they're not going to be that. They're not going to be there. They're not going to be center left. They're not going to be towards the center. They're going to be way further to the right. So what we get is we get these GOP representatives to champion ideas like affordable housing, which really isn't a far left-leaning issue, but it's an issue that cuts across the board for a big swath of people in the United States, whether they're conservative or liberal. Issues like that aren't way to the left, but just far enough to cause a little bit of conflict within the GOP itself. And with this conflict comes division. And that's why we go for the low-rung guys that are cheap. Because what it does is we cleave them away from the leadership, right? Get it? So now the leadership is almost going to be a little less ineffective because the leadership's over here on an agenda and we just bought these guys off on the bottom rung to be at odds with them. Now there's a big divide between the leadership and its membership, which causes confusion, causes miscommunication, causes poor communication. It causes inefficiency, which allows for the Democrats and more progressive and liberal ideas and policies to advance. Because now we've weakened the conservatives and we've weakened the GOP by doing this. So you get these liberal dark money groups to play by the rules that are out there. Start buying up these junior GOP members, start getting them in line with an agenda that you're paying for, and watch it grow. Watch what happens and watch how much at odds they are with the leadership, which we stay away from totally. Because they, of course, have been bought and sold, and we know their positions. We know what they are, and they're not going to change them because they've already took the money. They're not going to change now. They'll get so many hate mail from whoever gave them money that they won't be able to stand it. So they're kind of stuck, which this makes for a brilliant strategy. You already know where they're going. We can and we can manipulate the younger guys that are coming in, cleave them right away, make a big divide in the GOP. It's no secret that those in the GOP and the GOP itself are ruled by money. Money is what makes the world go round for them. They assess how well somebody's doing politically by how good the economy's doing, and not just the economy for everyone, but hey, how good the stock market's doing. So how good is it doing for business owners and people that have equity in major companies? How good is it doing for them? And that's how they rate it. They rate how well you're doing by how well the economy's doing, not any other metric, not how well educated or quality of life or anything else like that. But hey, how much money do you have? How much money did you save? And how well is the economy rocking? That's how they measure it all. So it's not a far cry to think you could just buy one of them. I think it would be very easy to do, and I would love to see someone do it. Look, you don't need to go any further than Scott Pruitt to see how effective buying a Republican can be and how easy it can be. Let's put it this way. I mean, the guy actually took a letter from Devon Energy, word for word, and put it on state letterhead and sent it out as a memo for everyone to read. It was so obvious that the guy had been bought and sold by this company that everybody was talking about it left and right. And not only that, when he went to work for the EPA, the guy had a private booth so that no one could listen to the phone calls because he was selling influence. That's what he did. He didn't even try to hide it, and no one even batted an eye to it. They thought, oh, well, that's just how the rules were played with. Where are you guys at? Which is what I want to know. Hey, where are you guys at? I mean, this is what needs to be done. I know it might be, hey, it's more, I don't want to buy no senator or anybody like that, but I'm telling you, they're doing it and it's working for them. And I know what they're going to say. They're going to say that, oh man, Democrats can be bought too, and you know what? You're right. But that's kind of a statistical failure in logic when you look at it. While, sure, maybe 1 in 5 Democrats might be able to be bought off by a pharmaceutical company. Yeah, that's probably right. But I'll guarantee you, when it comes to Republicans, it's 4 to 5 that are being bought. So you got 4 to 5 being bought on the Republican side and 1 in 5 being bought on the Democrat side. So I think this is a great plan. And it's nothing that they're going to really be able to counter well by throwing a bunch of money at Democrats. It's just not going to happen. Yes, we should definitely buy a Republican. I wonder what kind of Republican I would want to buy. I probably would want him to be somewhat personable. That would be good, wouldn't it? You know, be able to get out the agenda ideas. Someone who's, fresh, really young. Someone eager to get after it, and what I mean eager to get after it, I mean eager to get after those money contracts and influence he's going to be peddling. So it would be easy. They're going to be hungry for it. And if we set it up right, we don't make it look like it's a big liberal agenda. We can just be deceptive about that as we want. And we go after these guys. Just feed them a little bit here or there, and I guarantee you they will come around to our way of thinking if you throw them enough money. They will do it. Now, you're not going to be able to go off the deep end on really big far left issues because they're still conservatives. But I'm just saying, pull them a little bit to the left. Center to center left issues. And I guarantee you, they'll take that money and they will champion those. And they'll be talking to the leadership who's going to be against it. And they're going to be in a catch-22. Leadership took their money. Sorry, man, I took this money, so I got to be this way. And then the guy down the road's going to be, well, I took the money too, so I kind of got to be this way. And you can see where that's leading, can't you? Oh, yeah. The division between the leadership and the members. And that is a beautiful thing if you're a liberal Democrat. Because then it just weakens the GOP even further. And then you can start putting in more liberal and progressive issues, policies, and ideas on the table, and you can advance them further. I think it's the way to go. I think it's what we ought to do. And I would love to see some PAC or dark money group do exactly what I'm talking about. Oh man, would I love it. Please, somebody, anybody, put this together and let's see what happens. Yeah, buying a Republican. It could be as easy as that. If we put the plan in place, I'm almost positive it will happen. Build it and they will come. Yeah, flash them the cash and they're gonna take it. It's that simple. So, buying a Republican, I don't think it's really going to be that hard to do. I think it's a great strategy, and I think it's something somebody ought to really look into and put into place. This is Across the Desk with Kit Fairchild.